Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Right, quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Doll Restaurant Group. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Shondra.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass, where you're going to get to hear things behind the scenes that you would never know about unless you come here to this show. Well, my name is Shondra, and I'm your host, and I just want to thank my sponsors right up front: Quicker Cleaner Carwash, Sefton Engineering, Sedona Heritage Museum, Sedona's New Day Spa, and I've got some very exciting news, but I'm going to wait until after we get finished with this show to tell you what's going on, okay? So let's swing into, before I have my guests, let's swing into the calendar events, because there are so many things going on in Sedona. I always hear, oh, there's nothing happening here. No, that is not true. Greater Sedona and the Verde Valley, there's so much stuff going on. My pages have pages. I'm looking at 5 different pages, and I'm going to be schluffing around all the pages. So make sure that, just pay attention, because it's going to be probably loud with the pages. So first of all, I want to tell you tonight, something is happening. If you'd like to go to a fundraiser, and it is a fun fundraiser, it's called the Dinner for Hope. And it's tonight. You can still go. It's the 8th annual Dinner for Hope silent and live auction. And it's tonight from 5:30 to 9. It's in Cottonwood. Write this down, or take a little note on your phone: 637 North Main Street, Cottonwood, Arizona. And what are you doing? Well, this is a wonderful fundraiser for Steps to Recovery Homes. Now, if you want to know about what they're doing with folks who are challenged and are getting people up on their feet, giving them a hand up, as we would say, into a better, cleaner lifestyle, definitely visit stepstorecoveryhomes.org. And by the way, they have a wonderful facility there. It's called the Connection Room Event Center. So if you're having a party, like even a holiday party or a reunion or a wedding reception, this is a great place. I have been in that room, and it is phenomenal. So make sure you go and visit stepstorecoveryhomes.org and look for the Connection Room Event Center. And if you'd really like to give back, you're feeling that generous spirit tonight, you can go 5:30 to 9, and you can still get tickets. They are pricey, I will tell you that, but it's a fundraiser. It's $125 to attend, and it is a wonderful dinner, 8th annual Dinner for Hope. Okay, so the next thing I want to tell you about is, if you love music, like I love music, and I've actually been in this event. This is an annual event. I'm not in it this year. This one is the Bob Dylan birthday concert. It's the 20th anniversary. It's called 20th Anniversary Celebrate Bob Dylan's Birthday, happening at Old Town Center for the Arts. And that starts at 7 p.m. tonight. You can get tickets online, and write this down. It's CUR and then the number 8.com. You can get tickets by going online for that, or you can go on their website, Old Town Center for the Arts. Just Google them, Old Town Center for the Arts, and look for the 20th anniversary Celebrate Bob Dylan's Birthday. Okay, and let me tell you who the band is. So there is a house band and tons of guests. This is fun. I've done this at least twice in the show, singing Bob Dylan songs. So if you really like Bob Dylan, you're going to love this event. So the house band, and they call it the Mystery Tramps. That's the band, the house band. It contains these wonderful musicians. Joe Neri, who is also the producer of this every year. His birthday is on the same birthday as Bob Dylan. That's why he loves to do this. Larry Hill, Hutch Hutchinson, Alan, I want to say, is that Albert? Yes. With special guest performances by Deborah Wingsong, Ray Sylvester, Susie Showmaker, who I absolutely adore, who will be on this show in a few weeks, and also William Eaton, who is a Grammy Award-winning musician. He's phenomenal, and he is also a luthier. He makes guitars, and they're beautiful, and he's the owner of Old Town Center for the Arts. So that's tonight, too. So make sure you go see. If you don't go to the Dinner for Hope, don't feel like giving, don't go. But if you want to, go. Or go to tonight's celebration for the Celebrate Bob Dylan's Birthday. And I also want to mention so many events going on. I can't mention all of them. I'd like to. At the Sedona International Film Festival, as you know, there's films like crazy that are being shown all the time. You have to go to their website, which is sedonafilmfestival.com, to see all the lineups of all the events and the films that they are offering over there, because it's fantastic. Lots of great things to take in on that. And while we're talking about the Sedona International Film Festival, I will have Patrick on my show. If you don't know Patrick Schweiss, you have to tune in next week, because he's going to be coming in on Sedona's Backstage Pass. We're going to hear some behind-the-scenes stories from him. He's the executive director of the Sedona International Film Festival. You're going to really enjoy that. So right now, I am so excited to introduce to you one of the sponsors of my shows. You don't probably see her often, or maybe you do. She's kind of like a blur. She's running so fast at the Quicker Cleaner Car Wash. Debbie Johnson has got the energy of a 22-year-old, and she does so much with the community. It's such a pleasure to have you with us, Debbie. And I just learned you're a fellow Texan. I'm a Texan. I was born in Amarillo, Texas. Where were you born?
I was born in Houston.
Oh,
yes.
You were a city girl.
Yes.
You were
not really, but yes.
But you were that city baby. I was like out in the sticks somewhere, I can talk like this anytime I want because I'm from Texas.
Well, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is. So I'm so happy to have you with us. So many people don't know you. They know Quicker Cleaner Car Wash because it is the prominent and the only real car wash in Sedona. And it is it's like a wonderland. Your car goes in and then you're waiting for it. Everything is being taken care of for you. You have a wonderful store. Matter of fact, you had my CDs in your store. I would just tell you something. You don't find music CDs in the store of a car wash, but you do at Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash, because I remember that year, Susanna Martin, who's one of my Sedona Dynamite Diva sisters, she says to me, Shondra, you have to go and talk to Debbie. She's like helping all of us in the community, all of us musicians. And I went over and you said, sure, come on, put your stuff in here. I was like, thank you. You're such a community person. The people don't see you. So you have to tell people, how in the world did you end up running a car wash? It's a story, is it not? There's a journey. I understand that your late husband, Bill, God bless him, who's no longer with us, but he was the car guy. So what happened?
Well, we moved here, and I had always had my car detailed and cleaned because I was corporate America.
Yes.
And we lived here, and it was great. It was just what we wanted to do, where we wanted to retire. But I went to the car wash one day and discovered that it was dilapidated, didn't work, just a very unpleasant experience. And I went home and walked in and said to Bill, I'm going to buy that car wash.
Oh, my gosh. Just like that.
Just like that. And Bill said, you're going to what?
Can you imagine?
And he about dropped on the floor. And I said, I'm going to buy that car wash. He said, why on earth would you do that? I said, because I have no place to have my car cleaned, and I'm going to make it everything I need it to be so I can clean my car.
I love that.
And he says, no, no, you're not going to do that. And so we had, loving discussions with sometimes raised voices. And when he finally realized that I was bent and determined I was going to buy that car wash, he jumped in with both feet and said, well, if you're going to do it, we're going to make it the best one in the United States.
Well, let me tell you, it is fantastic. Now, I have had, we had our truck, the Tacoma truck, was detailed there. And wow. You made that vehicle look spectacular. And you're just lovely. And your people that work for you are terrific, too. Now, you talked about you were in corporate America. You are one strong woman. You're a Texas gal.
That's right.
That's right. We are tough, are we not?
We are tough.
We are, because we have to deal with a lot.
And we have a lot of hair.
And we have a lot of hair. Yeah, and that good weather is good on our skin when we're there.
That's right.
A little humidity. Houston's very humid.
Yes, it is.
I was like, whoa. Okay, so let's talk about your background, because there's quite a journey here. I just learned this, everybody. You're going to learn it And I learned some of this. I'm going to learn more with you because that is what this podcast is about. We want to go behind the scenes. We want to find out who you are. You're the woman who has and runs this fabulous car wash, but you have a journey. You actually started off, you went to college at the age of 16. Tell us about that experience.
Well, I went to college. I started college at 16 in Texas, and I was unprepared for college boys.
Ooh.
Yep.
Did you have fun?
Oh, I think I must have.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Got married and had 3 children.
3 children?
Yes. Quit college, of course.
One after the other?
One after the other.
And you're going to school and you're having the kids?
No, I've stopped school because he got drafted. It was Vietnam.
Ah.
So he was drafted, and we started moving around to Fort Bragg and Fort Bliss and Fort Clayton and all over the place. All the forts that were the forts. And
you got the kids with you.
I've got the kids.
You're schlepping here, schlepping
having
there.
babies all over the place. The last one I had was the New Year baby for North Carolina in 1972.
Wow.
And
you said that's enough.
I said that's enough, yes.
Right.
With everything. I said that's enough with all of it.
You were done. Done moving? Done with the husband too?
Yes, done with the husband. The only thing I wasn't finished with was my kids.
Good for you.
And so my kids and I ended up in Denver, Colorado, where I decided I needed to go back and finish my degrees. I ended up with associate's degree in finance.
Wow.
A bachelor's in business management with an emphasis in extractive industry finance, and decided I was going to be an oil and gas expert. I picked up a minor in earth sciences, went on to get a master's, and I was one of the first women in the oil and gas industry.
You are something. I had no idea. How many of you know that the woman that owns this car wash that you are going to, and I hope you're going to it because it's fabulous, has this huge background. I mean, you have degrees, and you're in the oil business at this point, and you got 3 children. How old are the kids now when you've completed all this schooling?
Oh, they were like 7, 8, and 9.
7, 8, and 9?
Yes.
Holy Toledo, that is just like, and you're juggling like crazy.
Oh, juggling.
Juggling. Yeah, this is why all that training.
Yes.
This is why you're so good at what you do. And so now what happens? So now you're in the oil business.
I was in the oil business working for a company owned by General Electric, back when General Electric was the king.
Uh-huh.
And General Electric had the most amazing educational system for their high potentials. So they test at that time every employee. And if you did well on one test, they tested you some more, and they kept testing you until they weeded out the ones that they wanted to identify as high potentials. And I was one of the first women ever to attend their financial management program, which was a 2.5-year master's program.
Wow.
And going back and forth between Crotonville, Connecticut, and Denver, Colorado, and getting that done.
Incredible.
So that was the most exciting, wonderful thing ever. I mean, even though I had the 3 kids I was juggling, I had a new marriage and my career, but it was the most exciting thing in the world. The education that they provided was unbelievable. What a blessing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So now you're doing schooling there, and then what happens?
Well, eventually GE discovered that an independent oil and gas company wasn't going to make it for them. Unfortunately, I was responsible for writing a white paper for Jack Welch about the future of natural gas.
Wow.
And in my report, I said, there's no growth here at that time. The price of gas will be $1 an MCF for like at least 20 years. Because there's so much of it, and the investment to get it out of the ground is so extremely high. So I left GE. They offered me 3 positions, like in horrible places to be moving my kids.
Like where?
Well, like El Paso, Texas.
Oh, not good.
Detroit, and Chicago. Well, those are not places I wanted to take my kids.
Right.
I lived in Denver, Colorado. We were outdoor people.
Yes.
So I did not do that, but I did go to work for Marvin Davis. He was the big oil man at the time.
Okay.
And I had already become a strategic planner at General Electric. So I was strategic planning for Marvin Davis.
And so now you just said gas was $1 at that time?
Yes.
$1 a gallon.
No, not gasoline.
Oh, not gas.
Natural gas.
Oh, excuse me. Natural gas.
Yes, $1 an MCF.
I see.
To get it out of the ground.
I see.
It was or to sell it. It was not going to improve for a long time.
I see. Smart move.
It's not much better than that now. So
interesting. So then what happens? This is the whole journey. It's so interesting to me.
I went to a couple of different things. I became the head of the planning and analysis department for the Rocky Mountain News, which is a Scripps Howard newspaper. There were only 3 places in the U.S. that had competitive newspapers at that time. And I got to be the head of the planning and analysis, which was great fun, just a blast.
Wow.
And had a great time with that. And while I was doing that, I got recruited to come play with the Denver Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Ooh.
And at the time, the mayor of Denver, and his name was Wellington Webb, wanted his brother-in-law or his brother or someone to be the CFO for the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
My goodness.
And so it was a struggle for the board to know what to do. And it was actually the publisher of the Rocky Mountain News who was on the board who said, I don't want to lose her, but I can't do for her what she needs to have done, so you guys need to take her.
Oh, that was nice of him.
They said, well, this is how we're going to solve the problem. We're going to bring in a great testing firm that they go all over the world and they test management personnel. And it's a 3-day test, and it's all day, every day.
Wow.
And so the family member of the mayor and myself had to do this. And when they finished testing me, they came back and told the board that I scored the highest on the management side of the testing of anyone they had ever tested.
My goodness.
So I got the job. So it was great.
You are a smarty pants. You know that, right? I mean, like, you do things that scare me. Okay, numbers and all the things that you're mentioning. Like, I look at a grid and I cry. No, I'm not kidding you. I do. I look at a grid. I can't. My mind does not think like that. I mean, if you look at my notes, they're all over the place, right?
My notes are too.
You are? Okay,
yes.
We have that in common.
My notes look not very different than yours at all.
Okay, that's good to know because now I don't feel like I'm the woman who writes like crazy, weird things, Well,
I was
all over the place.
I was never smart enough for any of my positions. I was quite certain that, all these guys, when I went to GE, everybody in the class was a master's, someone who had completed their master's, and they were Ivy League, and they had not married yet. They were all male, and this is a great story.
Okay.
So when the first day of the first class, we're in theater style, right?
Yes.
And I'm the only woman in there.
Whoa.
And the instructor comes in and he says, Debbie Rogers, like, what do you think?
Right? There's only one woman here, unless there's a guy named Debbie.
So I raised my hand, and he says, so, Miss Rogers, GE is spending a lot of money on your education. What are they going to do when you decide you want to have babies? And I looked at him, and I crossed my legs, and I said, well, sir, I already have 3. How many does GE want me to have?
Oh, great answer. That is so
He never bothered me again.
That was the end of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So it was great. I've had a lot of fun. I've had so much fun.
It just kind of makes me go back to something that I actually was talking behind the scenes before we were on the show with Lisa Dahl, who's a good friend of yours.
Yes.
And just talking about how difficult it is for women in these kinds of things. Go back many years. It's still difficult, but go back many years. And like, you're the only woman in this entire group, and they're all Ivy League and all that. That'd be a little intimidating. Were you intimidated, or was like,
Oh, no, I was intimidated like crazy.
I'll bet. I mean, I would have.
I was sure they were going to figure out I was a phony.
Oh, you had imposter syndrome. Okay. I understand imposter syndrome. But you were so good at all the testing and everything. It's like, it's amazing to me. Not that it's not amazing to me like, oh, Debbie. No, I'm just saying it's amazing that anybody can get through that. And here you did it. You did it. So now, all right, now you're the CFO of Grayline Bus. Tell me about that. This is a completely different.
This is a different world I went to. They hired me away from the bureau, and they were the world's largest and oldest touring company on 5 continents, all over the world.
Goodness gracious!
And they had a kind of a mess on their hand, and asked me to come in and fix it. And I said, okay. So they actually had just decided to move the company to the headquarters to Denver. It started out in the Empire State Building.
Oh my gosh!
And then it moved to Chicago, and then it moved to Dallas, and then it moved to Denver. And it's over 100 years old. I mean, it's been around for a long time.
Wow!
So I went there, and I had another blast of a great time, and just one fun thing after another. Very blessed. Got to travel anywhere I wanted to go and do anything I wanted to do while I was there for as long as I wanted to stay. I mean, what could be better?
What a great gig.
Yeah, it was a great gig. It was a great gig.
And now the kids are growing up now. They're in their teens now?
Oh, no, they're starting college,
okay.
graduating from high school. My husband came down with acute myeloid leukemia. We'd been together almost 30 years at that point.
Wow.
And he came home one day. We were living up in Elizabeth, which is up on the top of the Palmer Divide. It's on the eastern side of Denver, but it's 1,000 feet higher.
Okay.
It's because Denver's actually in a valley. And so we had this little ranchette. We planned on having cows and horses and everything. All we ever got was 4 border collies and a dozen chickens. But they were great border collies and wonderful chickens.
Wonderful.
They all had names, and they sat in my lap and laid eggs, and it was great.
Oh, my gosh.
And
what a great
it was
great
crazy.
life.
It was crazy.
That's so
and
cool.
he came home one day and said, acute myeloid leukemia.
He just said that to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I knew something was wrong because he said he wasn't feeling well. And I said, well, we'll make you an appointment. And, he had never had an appointment. And he said, okay.
Oh, boy.
And so he came home and said acute myeloid leukemia. We went to see the oncologist, and they said, it's really bad, the type of this disease that you have. We think 6 weeks.
And my goodness. Wow. That was like stage 4.
He said, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to fight this together.
Yeah.
And we did. We fought it for 2 years.
Oh, my goodness.
I did all the nursing. I resigned from my job at Grayline 6 times.
Wow.
6 times they refused to let
6
me
times?
resign. Yeah.
They wouldn't let you go.
No.
It was like, no, you can't go. You can't go. You can't have a life.
No.
You have to be with us.
They paid me half time to review their books and their strategies once a month.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So I did that, and took care of all his ports. I gave him his chemo.
Gee.
We went through bone marrow transplant, stem cell transplant, radiation, everything. And we had 2 incredibly wonderful, amazing years together that just the friendship, we'd always been good friends, and we'd always built things together, but this was a whole different level. And when he passed in my arms.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
it was such a blessing that God let me do that. It was truly amazing.
Wow.
And I really thought that part of my life was over. I really did.
I was going to say, because you did remarry again, and that was Bill.
Oh, yes.
And so, I think to myself, maybe you're done. Because you took care.
I was.
Yeah, you took care of a man you were with for almost 30 years. And then you went through a lot. And it wasn't a small thing. It was a big deal. Obviously, a family and family from another marriage and all of that. And now you meet Bill.
Oh, Bill was unbelievable. Bill had been a very wealthy man. And he had been involved in a Ponzi scheme. It was a very famous Ponzi scheme, and it included a lot of NFL players.
Okay. So that's behind the scenes.
Yep.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so he made a lot of money there.
No, he didn't make money there. He lost money there.
He lost
it was
money
a
there.
Ponzi scheme.
Oh, he was wealthy, and then he went to the Ponzi scheme.
And he had been appointed. He had been appointed as the chairman of the finance committee to oversee the bankruptcy.
Oh.
And he lived in Aspen, but he was living in a motel in Atlanta, Georgia.
Holy smokes.
Trying to deal with all this.
Okay, so he was dealing with the whole thing.
Yeah.
What a thing.
And he pulled together the finance committee in Las Vegas and said, you guys, all you have to do is make a phone call in once a week, and I'm doing all the work. And I've never, ever found my perfect soulmate. So this is the challenge. I'm going to give you guys 90 days to find my perfect soulmate. And if you don't find her, I'm going to quit, and you guys have to take this job.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, now, we have just run out of time.
Okay.
Which reminds me, you're going to be back next month. We are going to talk about this.
Okay.
This is a good subject. I am so excited to hear about this whole thing with you and Bill, how you met and all of that. So, first of all, thank you, Debbie. Debbie Johnson, Quicker, Cleaner Car Wash. Make sure you go over there. And if you do see Debbie, and it will be a blur, she's going to be running back and forth. She'll be there, she'll be here, she'll be there. Just try and call Debbie, and you can't find her. She is so busy. So thank you, Debbie, so much for taking your time out. Thank you for being a sponsor on Sedona's Backstage Pass. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm so proud of you in this show. It's so great. And by the way, the Day Quilter Society was fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
And now a word from our sponsors.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Quicker, Cleaner Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in just minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day. And look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit quickercleanercarwash.com. Do you hear that? Do you know who's in the studio right now? Okay, it's the Fiddler on the Rock, Tyler Carson. You've seen him around Sedona. I'm sure you've heard him in concerts. If you haven't, you got to see him. But I've got him right here on Sedona's Backstage Pass. So let's talk to him right now. Thank you so much, Tyler, for being here on my show. This is awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Tyler. I am so excited to have you here on Sedona's Backstage Pass.
Oh, Shondra, it's such a treat to be here with you at last, and thrilled about your new show.
Oh, thank you. You got to come see it. Dead Quilter Society. You are up to some big things. I was at Posse Grounds when CBS was there filming.
Oh, that was
you.
a magical day.
Oh, was it ever?
Yeah.
And it was packed at Posse Grounds Park.
It sure was.
It was so magical. And you've got quite a story.
It's been a journey. It's been a journey for sure. I mean, I've been to the top of Bell Rock playing my violin. I've flown an airplane over top of Bell Rock. I've done about everything I can imagine in Sedona, and we're just getting started.
I know. How long have you been here?
I've been here 6 years now.
6 years?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought maybe it was 2 years or something.
I was kind of sneaking, doing my own thing very quietly. I've been developing this whole artistic voice that's really come together. It's very much a full circle place for me here in Sedona.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who have not seen the CBS piece, go to YouTube. I'm sure it's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Fiddler
what
on
date
the Rock,
was that
CBS.
actually on?
Well, you know what? They aired it twice. It went over so well. They put me in the best of, and I was right after, not Patsy Cline. Oh my goodness, Dolly Parton. It was amazing. There was a feature on her. So anyway, it was the day after Thanksgiving and the day after Christmas.
Wonderful.
Absolutely prime time. I was so honored and delighted. It was such a treat.
Such an incredible thing. And
Yes.
you are really on social media. I see you all the time. You're always taking little clips. You do all the things that they tell you to do. Right?
You know what? That's very organic. That's a friend of mine that's recently moved to town, and she's an incredible artist, and we're just having fun. And this is what I've actually been waiting for social media until this recent time. I'm like, it needs to be fun. It has to be joyful. And I'm just going out having fun, playing old country tunes. Like, I grew up playing country music as a kid, and people wouldn't necessarily know that. So it just feels great.
I know that is interesting, right? What's the difference between a fiddle and a violin?
Well, that's a great question. Mostly a price tag.
I can imagine.
And honestly, that's the best way to describe it. It also tends to be used depending on the genre. So if you're playing anything trained like jazz or classical, that's a violin. If it's anything more folk oriented, it's a fiddle, and the sound is a little different.
Right. Okay. And is it the way you play it?
But it's the same instrument.
It's the same instrument. It's a different genre.
But you know, the violin is very subtle, and there's the classical ones are designed to amplify and have just purity of sound, whereas fiddles have a lot more character in them. It makes you want to stop your feet. And if you play that on a Stradivarius, it doesn't work. I've played one on a Quinarius, which is as good. You know, it's like a $2 million instrument. It's like, no, you can't play fiddle tunes on this.
That's amazing. Let's talk
but I
about
loved it.
I bet you did. Gosh, that's incredible. So let's talk about your background. You are classically trained.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, how old were you when you started
Well,
playing?
my first teacher in Canada, where I grew up, she had students that won the national classical competitions. And
Wonderful.
So when I was practicing for 45 minutes a day at 7 years old, she says, "Tyler, you're a very talented boy, but you're a little bit lazy." I'm like, oh, okay. I don't even remember this because I was so young. You know, this is the lore of the family. And she sent me to fiddle classes. There's a fiddle group called the Calgary Fiddlers, and that was when I had my white light experience, where I stepped on stage and I was just playing from my heart and having fun. No one told me what to do, and I just stepped forward and started dancing, and the crowd went crazy, and that was the beginning of my life.
Amazing! I love that. I love it. You had the bug. You got it. You got bit.
Well, you know what's funny is that it's actually the performing nature of music that really connected me, and that's because for me it connected me with spirit.
Yes.
That my soul wants to be on stage, and so when I aligned with it, suddenly spirit, the energy of the universe is in my heart. However you connect with, you know, I have a relationship with God now, but it's taken me a long time, and it's through music that really opened that for me. And before I was a fiddle player, I was at the Calgary Stampede, which is world famous, but not many people know there's a grandstand show called the Young Canadians, and there were 10 to 15,000 people a night that we would sing and dance in front of, and I was 6 and 7 years old. That's how my career actually started.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
yes.
Without my fiddle. But I loved it. The energy, the lights, it was just like,
of course,
joy.
Yes, it's your natural, this is where you need to be.
Right.
I understand this, by the way.
I bet you do.
I started young, too,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, this is it for me. Yeah. So now, tell us about something wild that has happened. I mean, first of all, I just want to know, did CBS come to you?
Well, that was a pretty wild story, because here I do this weekly concert series that's really, you know, you're aware of me in the last couple of years because things have really coalesced. And I'm now doing a weekly concert series where, you know, visitors from around the world come out, and I'm so touched. They're the most amazing people that come out to this, and that's one of the biggest affirmations of I must be doing something right. I just adore them. And so one person came in particular, it was filled up. There's like 100 people in the venue, and she snuck in last minute, and then I noticed she was taking notes throughout the whole show, and I thought, that's kind of curious. And I figured it was maybe Red Rock News or something, you know, our local newspaper.
Right.
And then it turns out, oh my goodness, she's gone. I don't get to find out what in the world's going on, but 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from New York City. CBS Mornings executive wants to know if I'd be willing to do a story with them.
Okay, so like that is something that is a jaw dropper.
Yes, totally out of the blue, totally organic. And you know what's really amazing? I'm now 42. Most people think I'm 33 or something, but I've been playing the violin for 37 years. So,
right.
The most amazing thing was the way that this all came together. And that's how it happened as a kid. When I would perform, I'd just play on the street busking handout cards. And I would end up getting called to play in Japan, Thailand, international television.
Phenomenal.
I opened for Brooks and Dunn, you know, like just incredible stories. And I had a momager, okay? That's how exclusive my family was in the music industry.
Got it.
You know, so and I've learned that following my joy is what happens. And that's how this CBS person found me, totally organic. It just must have been like a hotel concierge says, I've been hearing about this concert and you might want to go check it out. And then it went from there. I mean, that took me to see Lindsey Sterling. Like, it just opened all kinds of doors.
I know the whole Lindsey Sterling thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Quite a story.
Yes.
But before we get to that, tell me about your concerts, because now you're doing 2 a week.
Yes, it's grown so much. And so I do, the original concert series happens at the Hub, which has floor-to-ceiling windows of the Red Rocks. And occasionally I slip outside, but it's generally an indoor concert. And that's been going so well that I decided to open another concert on Saturdays. And this is a story I call Celtic Dreams. And that's my background. If you can see me, I have long red hair and I play the fiddle. So I must have come from somewhere over there. And there's such an incredible journey of following music, the music that connects that community together, because they started in Europe and like Eastern Europe, like Turkey, the Celts. It was a whole group of people and that were connected through music. And so for me, that's my journey as well, is like not knowing where you're going. They ended up in Ireland, following the waves, some in Spain, and the music held them together. And so this is a story that I like to tell, because for me, music is an art of life, and that's what I want people to experience. I want to connect. So they come to these venues, they're surprised. My little venue on Saturdays is tucked away, a little artist space. This is not posh, okay? If you're coming for posh, come on Thursday. That's my special, swanky show. And that show is all about my Fiddler on the Rock, doing cover songs, rock and roll, transforming songs, and turning them into a heart story.
And that's on Thursdays.
That's on Thursdays.
And that's at
Sedona Hub in Posse Grounds.
Okay.
Which has surrounded by the heart of the Red Rocks.
Yes, and then you have one on Saturday.
And Saturdays, that's my artistic little venue at Sedona Dance Headquarters. Yes. So tucked away in West Sedona, just below the Airport Mesa Rock there.
Right, and that's located at 2160 Shelby Road.
That's
right.
I have
it right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
That's Saturday.
So you have 2 different places to see Tyler.
Yes.
Every week.
Yes.
All right. And you can get tickets. I want to make sure that we have this right. FiddlerOnTheRock.com.
That's right. You just
also
go to
have
shows and the link's right there.
Tickets, also CDs.
I have CDs and T-shirts. So when CBS came out, I thought, oh my goodness, I can finally create it. I really need to create a merch store online. I was sure I was going to get rich, but that didn't quite happen, because it turns out the television and the internet are a long ways away in people's reality. And so what I've ended up with is this amazing merch of T-shirts of me jumping over Bell Rock and fiddles in the Red Rocks. And so I've got these, I helped design them. So I'm, it's the artistic voice comes out in all these ways. And so, there's all kinds of fun stuff there.
I love it. I think it's great. I really do.
Thanks, Shondra.
Now, your journey, you talk about this during your concerts. Mm-hmm. This is quite a journey.
Yeah.
This could literally decimate somebody in their life.
It did a couple of times.
And I'm sure it did. But the good news is you stood,
Yes.
you got yourself back up, and you kept moving forward, and you were open. You said yes.
Yeah.
Half of the time people don't think to say yes.
Well, we don't know how to say yes.
Yes.
I was blessed with some amazing teachers. I went to Energy Healing School in Vancouver. It's a 3-year program similar to the Barbara Brennan School, which is world famous out of Florida. And that was a healing school that teaches you that obstacles can be opportunities if you have the right support and if you trust something larger than yourself. If you can trust that life is always working in your favor, and it will be if you're following your joy. My mom made me practice every day, and I was too young to know what joy was. I was always in joy. But she knew that in 10, 20 years, if I had this voice in my violin, it turned out it saved my life, because when I lost my physical ability to speak, which is the story you're alluding to, and you can still hear, but hear how I can open up my voice now.
I know,
this
love
is
that.
amazing. This is not something doctors said I'd ever be able to do. 6 years ago, I talked like this. It's called spasmodic dysphonia. And so this has been the journey, and my music has been my guiding light.
You were literally guided, I believe, to go into this journey that
Yes.
you're on right now.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of singers out there, but can they do what you do?
Right.
Right?
You know what's amazing? This is a little fun story for Backstage.
Okay.
I was 21. I was going down to L.A. and I was looking for someone to help my voice because it was getting tight. Anyway, I just, being the brave guy I am, I just called up Seth Riggs. Seth Riggs is the most famous singer and the teacher in the world. We're talking
I know exactly.
Michael Jackson,
Yes.
Stevie Wonder, who he called while I was at a lesson, and I heard Stevie's voicemail, and that was
Wow.
amazing. And I thought, you know what, I really want to get his attention, because that was how Josh Groban got his deal, was through David Foster, who Seth connected with. And I thought, well, this is my moment, right? So I brought my violin and I'm playing classical meditation by Tice. And he walked in and said, oh, wow. No, you have no idea. Like, you can do so much more. You can go places we could never even dream of.
That's true.
And, and that was such a bittersweet thing for me because my voice was already tightening, which was so strange because I was a classically trained singer. And I had Benjamin Butterfield, who's a world-renowned tenor. He's from Victoria. And his mother heard me sing when I was 17. And she sought me out to say, you sound just like my son did when he was your age.
Oh my gosh.
So like, in my heart, I wanted to be a singer. I was already like, okay, the violin got me this far. Now let's go sing,
Yes.
So, but God has plans.
Well, that's the thing. Know. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You said yes. Right. Somebody else would have gone, that's it. I'm going to become a mechanic.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
No, you didn't. You said yes to something that was given to you as a gift. It's a beautiful thing,
The struggles,
really is.
The struggles where we learn to thrive,
Yes.
There's that whole surviving to thriving, and surviving is one thing, and we're all amazing at that. But we're learning now to become thrivers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so in awe of you. I think you're wonderful. You build these songs. I posted something on social media. Check it out if you haven't. And it's a whole system of looping, and it's incredible.
But what is looping, Shondra, for those of us
What
who
is
don't know?
looping? Let's find out. What is
this
looping?
This is live recording, so
Yes,
nothing is pre-done. There's no computers. Everything is just a little tape machine basically at my feet. I press start, I record, I press stop, and then when I press start again, I play over what I just recorded. And so a lot of my pieces have 6, 7, 8 tracks on them, and they all just weave together. It's special. And one of the interesting things is that I never intended to do this. It's just that it kept finding me as I would sort of be like, what do I do now? I don't know. And then amazingly, as things happen, the butterfly flaps its wing and things change. Ed Sheeran started doing the same thing. I mean, he was doing it right. We were doing it around the same time, but he broke around the time that I was really getting into it as well. And so when I saw him at the O2 Arena solo with his loop pedals, I was just like, oh wow, so I guess I'm on a channel that can really work here,
That is fantastic.
And it does create a sort of unique magic. I'm free to go anywhere I want musically because it's just coming from my heart the whole time.
I know. It's great. You're not a drummer. You don't have 10 cases.
Yeah, that's a bonus too.
It's like every time I ever played with my bands, it's like, I'm glad I'm not a drummer.
Right.
Even though I did help. But at any rate, no, it's fascinating. And I would really encourage you to go see Tyler in action because he's doing this right in front of you. And you'll get an opportunity to see how he builds everything. And you do so many different kinds of genre of music. The piece that you played here, or that you're about to play, I should say, because you were playing something when we started the show.
Right.
But the piece that we're going to hear in just a moment has a rock flavor to it.
Yes.
And it also has kind of a Celtic thing happening as well.
It actually comes, the main theme will come from a Celtic band called Shugal Nifty. And it was a song that I played like 20 years ago. And then recently when I started using the looper, I thought, this first initial melody is really interesting. Next thing you know, I started improvising. It became a full piece. And for me, it feels like I often pair it with Pirates of the Caribbean. It
does. It has that.
And so for me, it has that energy. And so that the Celtic thing really came in strongly in that. But I grew up playing classical and then old time fiddle music, and I do some of that, and then bluegrass and Stefan Grappelli, the hot jazz from France, in the 1930s.
Yes.
Really fun stuff. And that's where, of course, I have my horn violin, which everyone wonders if I invented. But when you see me in person, it's like, what is this?
I know. It's very Dr. Seuss looking.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. I've seen that. It's in a children's book.
Right, that's right.
It's like, whoa, that's really, really cool. Well, I'm just loving this. Is there anything you want to tell us? Another story, maybe? We have time for one more before we hear from you.
I'd love to. Well, because we're in Sedona, I want to tell you that there's been some magic here that's happened. And when I was getting ready to play for Lindsay, as has happened twice here in Sedona, I thought, oh gosh, I was struggling with my body because my nervous system that hits my voice can also hit my body, and so my arms get tight. And I happened to connect with someone who's absolutely extraordinary. if you know Pilates and yoga, this is the next level of this. And he calls it the monkey body. And it came because his teacher taught him a whole different way of being so natural in your body as a violin player. She was from Russia, and she had the most amazing violin teacher, who actually, not a teacher, he came to listen to her, David Oistrakh. He's world famous. She was 11 years old, and he says, what is there to say? She knows how to play the violin. So she was a savant, and this has traveled all the way through her teachers, through Drew, who lives here in Sedona, and out in Posse Grounds, he showed me how to reground my nervous system so that I could learn 12 songs in 3 weeks to play with Lindsay, live in front of national TV.
Wow.
No preparation, in an arena, totally cold. And this was another obstacle that just sent me over, because I had been playing classical, but my nervous system shut me down, and he opened it up again. So it's just a constant learning that obstacles are opportunities. Trust, reach out to your friends, be there for each other, and we will see a new world that we've never imagined before.
I love this. And I love you. I think you're awesome.
Oh, thank you, Shondra.
You are such a bright light. The studio is glowing. I wish everybody was here to see this. It's glowing
They'll
right
feel
now.
it.
They'll feel the vibe.
Feel your heart.
Now, you're going to play something for us right now.
I would love to.
I'm so excited. I don't know how many times this has happened in this studio. I don't think it ever has. So here we go. Tyler Carson. And now, a word from our sponsors.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com.
Take a deep breath and let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments, all nestled in a peaceful creekside setting beneath Sedona's Red Rock beauty. Voted Sedona's best day spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Doll Restaurant Group.
Well, thank you for coming back and staying with me on this beautiful Saturday morning. Oh, yeah, hear that? I know what that means. It's time for a shameless Shondra spot. Well, many of you know, at least you know in the Sedona and Verde Valley area, and actually people around the country who are involved in this with us, for the last 5 years, my creative partner Dev Ross and I have been working on producing a movie. It's called WeirdDetention.com. Our intention is to stop the violence in schools before it happens. If you want to know more about that film and what we're doing, how we are actually helping kids with skills of nonviolent communication and conflict resolution skills, visit WeirdDetention.com. It's kind of a Breakfast Club gone music. And the big news is we are going to start our movie shoot. That's right. It is starting on July 15th here in Sedona. I am so excited about this because it's a long time coming. We go into rehearsals on the 15th of July, and by the 19th, we and our whole cast and our crew will start that filming. I'm just so thrilled. And let me tell you who the cast is. We've got two talented singer-actors, or I should say actresses, coming in from Los Angeles, who will be two magical divas. And our third magical diva is the very talented and beloved Susie Showmaker. Thrilling. And our three principal lead kids in the cast are Laser Lanson, Sarah Orbe, and Ajna Masters. You probably saw Sarah Orbe and Ajna Masters in the last production, just recent production of Mamma Mia at Mingus Union High School. And Laser is an alumni of the Mingus Union High School folks over there, all the students and the theater department. I know you know him. He's been around forever. And I'm happy to say these are extremely talented private students of mine. And I will testify to the fact that they are wonderful in their roles. So check out WeirdDetention.com. By the way, we're still fundraising. And when you give a donation, you get a tax deduction. I just want to thank my guest today, Debbie Johnson of Quicker Cleaner Carwash. God, love her. She's absolutely phenomenal, and she is one of my sponsors, yes. And she is such a giver of the community. You just got to go by and get your car washed at Quicker Cleaner Carwash. And also, Tyler Carson. He's fantastic. If you want to get his schedule of all the performances he's doing, visit fiddlerontherock.com. And I also want to mention that next week, my guests, this is thrilling. We've got Patrick Schweiss, the executive director of the Sedona International Film Festival. I mentioned that earlier in my show. And the wonderful chef Lisa Dahl of the Doll Restaurant Group. She's with me. And here's the exciting news. Are you ready? The Doll Restaurant Group is now my presenting sponsor of this show. So I want to give them a big shout out. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all my sponsors, Quicker Cleaner Car Wash, Sefton Engineering, Sedona Heritage Museum, and Sedona's New Day Spa, and my new presenting sponsor, the Doll Restaurant Group. And of course, tune in next Saturday at 10 a.m. We will be here, KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM, and of course on Apple Podcasts every Saturday at 10 a.m. Sedona's Backstage Pass. See you then.